Welcome back. We are still here with Mr. Ivan Busisa, and we are talking about marriages, happy marriages at that, and rediscovering them. Now, before the break, we left a question for the person who is watching us, but mostly for Ivan here. And the question is that what can marriage give that the outside world cannot?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I'm going to start this way. Before I married my wife, or before I even met her,
Yeah.
I had a particular lifestyle that I was living. But somehow God interrupted and brought me into this environment of people that believe a certain way, that behave a certain way,
Okay.
and are committed to a certain, and are deeply into value commitment. And it's through that environment I was able to meet my wife. I've been married to for the last 9 years. So, in this environment, I found people that are covenantal, okay?
Yes.
Value commitment, and put relationships above all, okay? So, the one thing that marriage that is going to give you that you won't find elsewhere is you're going to find a covenant, okay?
Right.
You're going to find a covenant. A covenant, so this, you are literally, it's an exclusive for you, okay? It's like a copyright, a patent right. Nobody else can get it except you. And you're getting it from this one person specifically, and you're receiving these rewards for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
So, sex is one thing, but it doesn't really come in. When sex is not covenanted, really, it is something that creates havoc, or it creates regrets, okay?
Yes.
Any form of engagement, physical engagement between a male and a female, outside the context of a covenant, will always lead to a situation that is not really, that will yield results that are not beneficial for the two of you, okay? Because that is how God intended it, and that's how God designed it.
Right.
Okay? Secondly, besides it being covenantal, you're going to find somebody that values commitment. Okay?
Yes.
If I had stayed in my previous environment, much as I would have said maybe gotten married, much as I would have perhaps been in a relationships, okay, and having these engagements, physical engagements, I would not have had someone that values commitment. That is why you find people having multiple partners.
Yes.
People easily move on from one place from one person to another. Okay. At some point, someone made fun that in a musigo. Okay, I don't know if that's the right word to use. in a place where there are very many rentals. Okay. People at some point, people just exchange. One just moves from this one. It's like, I'm tired of you. Instead of leaving the place, they just move on to the other room or the other person.
We see it a lot with house managers.
Yeah, so you see that. So where value of commitment is a very key thing, and it's not just even in the context of marriage, because I have to understand. I've come to realize why a job application form has married, single, all that.
Why?
It communicates who you are. Or it communicates something about you. Not necessarily who you are, but communicates something about you. Okay? That is why. Yeah, but that I won't go deep into that.
And I will not. Like you saw, I was not pushing to go even deeper into it.
It communicates something when someone says, a job applicant says they are married.
Okay.
Okay? It communicates something. It communicates the person who is hiring. When sees someone who is married, the first thing they will see is responsibility. It's one thing. So I'm not saying you should lie on your CVs. Please don't lie on the CV. Okay? Just be a person who is responsible. So marriage gives that exclusivity. It gives you something covenantal. It gives you something values commitment. And it gives you a package that is lifetime.
Wow. Let's end the show here. Now, on that note, I wanted to ask you about these vows.
Yes.
Are they still something we should go on to? Because the world where we are right now, it feels like it is for better until. For better or worse, how do they say it? For better, for worse, right? Okay, so it feels like it is for better, for worse, but not until that extent.
Yeah.
The for worse I'm willing to take is
Yes.
here,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if we are going to for worse of that direction,
Yes.
I will not be getting there. So I wanted to ask you, do you feel like these vows
Yeah.
still, they still stand to date? Are
Yeah.
they, should they still be something that we should be using, or should we change these vows? Because few people seemingly stay for, especially the worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
we are staying for the better,
Yeah.
but at any sight of for worse,
Yeah.
we start to say we are not happy
Yes,
in a
yes,
marriage. So
yes.
let's talk about those vows a little bit.
Yes. So if you look critically at those vows, it says, I, Ivan, take you, Josephine, to be my lovely wedded wife,
Yeah.
my beloved wife. With my body I honor you, for better, for worse, in sickness and in health, for richer, for poorer, till death does us part. So if you look at all that has been there, those are actually things, when you look at them critically, those are the specific areas that actually form a life of a person. Okay? The health, okay? The finances, okay? And then also the other bit being the bit of physical or intimacy.
Okay. Where is that? The one over with
Yeah.
my body I honor you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So all these things. So if we say we change this, it means we are going to change the way a marriage setting has to be. Okay?
Yeah.
There's a reason that was said. I don't know who said those vows. I don't know the history behind that. I'll try and research it.
Yeah.
But there's a reason the church set them that way. Okay? Because when you look around, when a person honors you with their body, they are there with you in any situation.
Any situation.
Yeah, whether with you, whether you have no money or not, okay? Because, and they are there to be with you, they are willing to walk the journey with you till death do you part, okay? This is someone you are covenanting with. So
Yes.
that's why we call it a marriage covenant. So a covenant comes with conditions, okay?
Right.
And those are the conditions and in there. So if you say you want to change the conditions in the covenant, you want to be like these people who want to amend the constitution. Yeah?
Tujikwateko.
Yeah? So in this day and world, you're free. You know, our God is sovereign. All the church is sovereign. You are free as a person. That is one thing God gave us, sovereignty. You can choose to ignore, but you're going to suffer the consequences.
Yes.
Or you have to deal with the consequences of it. Because there's a reason those values were aligned there. That when you stick to this, at the end of it all, you'll be glad you married this person.
Okay.
Yeah? Yeah? There's a funny video that my wife likes watching. It's a lady doing her vows. And she seemed to be in tears. But when it comes to the part of for richer and poorer, she said that for her, she is in for richer and
For richer.
Yeah?
Yes.
And that is what many of us want.
Yes.
Yeah? For better and better only. For good and better.
Because I have heard very many people talk about it,
Yeah.
and the idea about it is that we are speaking into our future.
Yeah.
So if I say that for richer, for poorer, that means that I'm sowing into the poorer bit of it,
Okay.
because I'm doing the vow. So
Okay.
that is the whole element
So
of it.
that is the whole element behind it.
Yes.
But you see, the bit as you are sowing into the because the mind, I would say, behind it is that you're trying to speak into your future that you never have, you never lack.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes.
But the journey out of lack is the question, because you won't just jump from lack to abundance.
Right. Atikati, we're here as we get married. We are already in
That is-
abundance.
yes.
So we are hoping that we shall maintain.
You're hoping
that,
to maintain.
Yes.
But it's now what happens when things change along the way? Okay?
Yeah.
Because you could be traveling from here to up country, okay? But along the way, you get a flat tire. Does that stop your journey?
I did not sign up for that.
For a flat tire?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I signed up for when I get to Gulu.
So that is the problem we are facing.
Right.
We haven't reached destination, but we are quitting early. Okay? And there's a reason this person has been given to you, because literally it's God who does marriage. For you, I would say for my wife, but I would say it's God who found her for me.
Okay.
Because if from the 9 years that we've been together, if it was somebody else, would not handle me. they wouldn't handle me.
Right.
Yeah, but she has the character, she has the patience to handle who I am,
Yeah.
and also to make sure to also be able to bring out my best, but also be able to cultivate my weaknesses to make me become a better person in the marriage. So when you do away with that, because marriage is not just for us, we are there to fulfill a purpose.
Yes.
Okay. There is a reason they call me Mr. and she's called Mrs. So I am there. I don't just receive that title. I receive that title because I married this person.
Right.
Yeah? And so I'm there to fulfill a purpose, and that purpose is there to make sure that I'm there to serve people and also to create, to bring up a future generation that will also value the same things I'm doing right now. Okay? So we, going back to the bit of the vows, I think they are perfect the way they are.
Okay.
Because all those circumstances will come. You will go through them, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
They could be good right now. You know, life is like weather. Today it's bright, today it's sunny.
Yeah.
It doesn't change. Whether it's raining or sunshine, as long as you're alive, you have to wake up. You have nothing to do about it.
Right.
Okay? If you commit, unless you're going to commit suicide, which you want to do.
And you know, earlier on we had a motivation minute where we were talking about how life is hard.
Yeah.
And you find that even in the moments when life is hard, is that there are things that will not stop. The taxes, the fact that your landlord still wants you to pay. Whether you've lost your a very loved person to you, life will still be moving on. Now, we want to wrap up, but is there anything that a marriage cannot survive?
Anything a marriage cannot survive.
Yeah. Are there situations where if they happened in a marriage, is there anything that a marriage cannot survive?
Well,
or this is based on individual people?
Yes, it's best really on individual people, but I believe a marriage can survive anything they commit to overcome.
Okay.
As long as they commit to overcoming it, they can survive it. But if a situation comes and one gives up, definitely it's going to crush them. So we've seen this on so many forums, so many individual people, so many people, so many big personalities out there have lost out on their marriages because of circumstances that have come their way. Okay, and these days divorce is something that is off the tongue. Yeah, it is very easy.
Yeah, for people to walk out.
It is very easy to the point that our parliament thought of amending the marriage and divorce bill. Imagine we have a marriage and divorce bill. Yeah. Meaning it is an option that is there already.
Yes.
Okay? So you look at that and you say, you know, if a circumstance comes and indeed if you're not going to handle it as a couple, it's going to hit us together. Yeah. Okay? Because again, even in the Bible it says that when two come together, whatever they bind on earth will be bound in heaven. So as long as you continue to work as partnership, I told you here earlier, I've made financial decisions by myself.
And they backfired.
And they have backfired on me.
Yeah.
Yeah? So as long as you choose not to work with your spouse or your partner, any small circumstance, it doesn't have to be a big one. It just has to be a small one, minor one. Because the people who have separated on small matters, small misunderstandings, okay?
Yes.
And then out of that, it becomes a wreckage or a train wreck of things that here and there and all that finally end up into a separation. But I believe as a person that a marriage can survive any circumstance if they commit to overcome it. Yes.
Wow. You know, when I say this, because I'm not yet married, most people are like, hey, you do not know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I always say that walking away is the easiest thing.
Yes.
When you look at marriages where, let's say, there's been infidelity, walking away is the easiest.
Yes.
Staying and you have to face it and have to forgive this person is the hard part.
Yeah.
But people look at going away as it was so hard.
Yeah.
You gave up.
Yeah.
That was the easiest.
That was the easiest.
Yeah, because it's so easy to close the door and say, you know what, I'll not visit that chapter. But imagine seeing the person who wronged you come in and they are trying to laugh like everything is okay. So that is the hard part.
Yeah.
But as we conclude, I want us to talk to marriage, and the person right there who has lost their spark
Yeah.
in their relationship.
Yeah.
They are looking at each other as siblings. There's nothing exciting at this thing called marriage. We are just there. Yeah,
We are like brother, sister.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You, at the start, when we
Yeah.
met, you said, oh yes, I can say I am happy.
Yes.
And I understand that sometimes happiness, it's just an emotion, so it can change. But we can go further and just call it joy.
Yes.
For
That's the right
a
word.
marriage that has lost its joy,
Yeah.
I want you to be able to speak to them
Yeah.
this morning.
Yeah.
How can they find their way, navigate their way into going back to a joyful marriage?
Well, I would like to speak to a marriage that lost its spark. You know, one of the things that really deviate us as married couples, you remember the things that brought you together, okay? Some of you met, you were friends. Some of you met at school. There's that one thing that brought you towards that person, and that caused that spark in the I wouldn't call it a spark, but caused that yearning that you wanted to be close to that person, that you eventually made the decision to spend your entire life to that person.
With them.
At one point, I remember I was ministering in church, and the word of knowledge came to me, and it was speaking to a person who had been married 20 years. And the Lord was saying to them, is that you, the dreams and aspirations that you had in your honeymoon are still a reality. Yep. So you have to go back to that moment. Stella, I have an Indian friend of mine, and he was telling me, he's a Christian, he's born again, he's actually a minister. And he was telling me, you know what, Ivan, I have to go back and prepare my daughter's wedding. And I was telling him, okay, so you've met the fiancé? He's like, no, I haven't met him. Okay, but she has a boyfriend? It's like, no, she doesn't have a boyfriend. And I'm like, so how are you going to prepare a wedding of your daughter if she has no boy?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, there are a few families that recommended, and we are going to meet them, and then finally get the two of them
Agree on.
together. Yeah.
Wow.
And then he told me, yeah, and that's how I also got married. I'm now 23 years in my marriage. I didn't court my wife. I didn't meet her. I met her on the day we got married.
And it's
23
working
years.
for
Yeah.
them 23. Wow.
And the funny thing is, this guy, every time his wife calls and she needs something, here in Uganda, he will cancel everything, get on the plane and go back.
Wow.
Yeah? But that's what I've come to learn from them. And it's one of the best quotes I learned from these people. And they say, you don't marry the one you love.
Okay.
You love who you marry.
Perfect.
Yeah?
Yes.
So married, remember, you made a choice. The vows that you made a choice that you will love this person that you're going to marry. Every day we grow into knowing someone. Every day we grow into loving the person.
I'm not the person I was yesterday. There's something that I didn't believe yesterday that I believe today. Yeah.
Yeah. And indeed, so I understand. You're looking at him probably. You want to change a room.
Yes.
You know, that's quite common. Yeah, it's common. It happens in every home. The wife wants to change a room. She wants to sleep in a different room. Yeah, but all those will come. But at the end of the day, if you stand strong and focus on and commit to loving your partner, commit to loving your spouse, because love is a choice. Stella mentioned here joy. Joy is not a feeling. Joy is not an emotion. Joy is a state of mind.
Yeah.
Okay? The Lord gives us joy. We choose to be joyful despite the circumstances that are around us.
Yeah.
Or in our marriage. Okay? It is easy to say, I know some of the things that cause marriages to run, you're comparing to your peers. By the end of the day, you do not know what's happening in their marriages, and you're comparing it to your own marriage. So your marriage has something it can achieve.
Yeah.
Your marriage was put there for a purpose. You know, the late Dr. Miles Monroe says that your marriage, God put man together to achieve for a particular purpose. Okay? That is why he hates divorce. When divorce comes in, it disrupts his plan. Okay?
Yes.
So you two are, before your husband and wife, you are partners in this. And you have to work together till death, do you? But, so you have to choose to make that commitment to love your partner and also to be able to cultivate on their strength and also work on their weaknesses. I believe that spark will come back in Jesus' name.
Thank you so much, Mr. Van. That was really powerful. And for me, let me advocate for us, the Zens. You know, one of the things that in my personal journey I'm learning as a single person is that God can reveal to you things. You'll be shocked what the Holy Spirit can reveal to you. So it's impossible to know that person's heart. But before we get into the marriages, because I know sometimes there's someone who is watching you, Ivan, is like, who didn't know, no. Me, natomera, I made. So there is indeed such a thing as kutomera. You probably went for the looks, for whatever it is, and then there is beating in the marriage. There is, unfortunately, we are hearing so many cases of homosexuality in the marriages. So there are all these things. But the Holy Spirit has not stepped away from you because you made a bad decision. He'll be able to guide you through that. But I wanted to speak to the person who hasn't yet stepped into marriage. The thing that the Lord is teaching me in my personal journey, you have to trust God. Like, God is your true source. So he will reveal this person to you. He will reveal you to yourself, because there are also things within you that need to be worked on. Yeah? So we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much. I have been blessed by this conversation, and I hope that a married person out there will be joyful again. It will be one of those marriages that you beat us in our faces on social media, so that we know that marriage is a happy place. But for that, with that, we have to go for another break, and then when we return, Dickens will be here with an artist. We are talking all things music right after the break.